The Eagle's Gift. On the lands where the Nez Perce roam, where hoary-headed mountains tower and raging rivers flow, in a little tent I camped alone. On the banks of a stream, where crickets sing and bullfrogs dream, I played my drum in the full moon's gleam. Deep was my slumber under the star-studded sky. I awoke to the glow of the dawn's first light, and the piercing sound of an eagle's cry. Amidst trees like wrestlers that have battled the wind, the stream's icy currents stung my skin. As I bathed, the water cleaved with a salmon's fin. From far above, in dizzy heights, an eagle dove in breathless flight. With claws of steel he grabbed his prize. With regal disdain he ignored me there. Thrice more he lifted fish into the air, to where his young awaited their share. As I watched his flights of grace, I felt I was in hallowed space. Then he left without a trace. On velvet banks of mossy green, a simple meal beside the stream warmed my heart and suffused my being. The morning air fresh and clear, the stream like music to my ears. It's the eagle's gift I hold most dear. Years have passed since I've seen him fly, but in my heart I still hear his cry, changing the mundane into the sublime. As we gather together to learn these sacred truths that are meant for the great way showers, the bright lights on earth, may we in all things be counted to do that which we need to do to help humanity through this time of destructuring in society as it prepares for a higher way of life. May we know and respect the great power that we wield as the sacred government through self-government. We are prepared to do that which is required that we might progress to the next level of our evolution and by proxy assist humanity through their birthing process into a new life. We ask that our hearts be pure and free of agendas, that we might in self-sovereignty cease to need external sources of nurturing and assistance, that we might, as masters, walk among men, keeping our sacred space. May our homes be a temple. May our acts be a prayer. Amen. Atre Hut. I embrace a life of magic. Bish Pravar. My cells sing the song of wholeness. Kiresta. I harvest abundant resources. Milenech. I express in confident strength. Usbaravar. I manifest wholeness through divine compassion. Kusanach. I unfold my destiny with grace. Mekenut. I dwell in timelessness. Bareshta. I travel the timeless journey in illumination. Kevenet. I flourish through aware appreciation. Alustra. I manifest harmony through compassion. Kevech Sutra. I embrace the moment through surrendered trust. Pisharna. I am a luminous miracle. Kalch Sater. I dwell in timelessness. Uktraba. Through gratitude I manifest a life of blessings. Sahatravu. I am a blessing to all life as I walk in reverence. Mech Enesvi. I discover beauty through aware appreciation. Esenespi. Through a resurrected life, I sing the song of timelessness. Varsanus. In light-heartedness, I release the dreams of the past. Puhastavit. In mastery, I create a reality of grace. Kalishtra. I am empowered through impeccability. Kiristar. In silence does the world speak to me. Pliribar. Blessings, like seeds on the wind, emanate from my presence. Keferlek. With a sense of adventure, I embrace the moment. Kuruselavi. In confidence, I express my authenticity. Parsbit. I am the conscious artist of the artistry of my life. Purestabit. In fertile abundance do I flourish and thrive. Arknus. In gratitude I walk the endless journey of an abundant life. Sichvat. From an eternal perspective, I express in confidence and strength. Alustrahit. With a light heart and a song of joy, I travel the endless journey of eternity. Verklesa. I am an incorruptible resurrected being of light. Uru Arach. With the discipline of mastery and the spontaneity of a child, I refine my life's expressions. Artelrut. My will is blended with infinite intent by acting on what inspires me. Ispera. I am the source of boundless blessings. Uklu tu rena. I manifest a miraculous and abundant life. Asalha. I live in harmony with my highest vision. Kivister. My life unfolds in clarity and grace. Manu Sater. All life supports me as I walk in reverence. Kanupla. Through aware appreciation, my presence brings blessings to all life forms. Ethelvet. I dwell in meditation by living with full attention to the moment. Parachtu. Within the eye of the storm, I live in the peace of eternal time. Vili Sach. Through appreciation of the details of life is my journey illuminated. Misanat, my perception expands beyond mortal boundaries. Pereklut, I trust my being to sustain and heal me and illuminate the steps of my journey. Kalchbarut, I express the brilliance of effortless knowing. Seksahit, I release all entanglements through lofty perception. Mestu Prabar, my cells sing the song of oneness and inclusive compassion. Kisipla, I am eternally renewed. Alistar, through choosing my emphasis and focus, I establish heaven on earth. Esparanot, by mastering my thoughts, I am freed from mortal paradigms. Kiferet, I consciously create the quality of my eternal journey through surrendered trust. As we embark on this very special journey in the company of the angels, we are going to invite them to give us messages for the well-being of man, things we might be missing as we live a life of high consciousness. And we're going to discuss the hidden insights of the Lemurian angels. 300 Atlantean angels, 300 Lemurian angels, representing 300 aspects of the masculine archetypes and 300 aspects of feminine expression. During this course, we will focus primarily on the angels that are relatively unknown to us, called the 300 angelic orders of Lemuria. Lemuria represented the archetypal feminine on Earth, and it is therefore not unusual that they should gravitate to the study of the feminine quality angels. We have spoken about the fact that there are large cycles in which we cycle through cosmic life. The cosmos itself makes a large rotation. But as we cycle upon the disk of life, there are 300 realities that we encounter on one side of this big disk
And on the other side of the disk, there are 300 realities we encounter that is high in frequency, as the other 300, represented by the Atlantean orders, are high in light. The Lemurian angels represent the height of frequency, that which restores the magic of life. The Atlantean angels represent the height and depth of light, and so they raise consciousness through perception as well. The hidden insights of the Lemurian angels is of a different type than those we encountered for the Atlantean angels, but they are really studying existence from two different sides of the coin. The first insight speaks of the sigil of Ameth, used by the ancient alchemists and featured many times on our Facebook and so forth. It says that the sigil of Ameth, used by ancient alchemists, has kept the angels of the black light. Now we need to define the black light as the refined and unseen light in a state of lower consciousness. What this is saying is that the sigil of Ameth tries to capture the power that the alchemists used of the Lemurian angels, and in trying to capture their power, binds them. The sigil of Blahut is discussed as the second insight, and the angel of the first insight is Ar-Sa-Tuh. Brivabat, the angel of the second insight, says that the sigil of Blahut sets the angelic realms free to live from their highest consciousness. To do this, the old angels that represented the sigil of Ameth have been replaced with those of higher consciousness. To us, beginnings and endings have a different meaning. It means the cessation of life, the beginning of death. But to beings that dwell in group consciousness, it is an effortless recycling, like going through a revolving door and simply walking out the other side in higher consciousness. Al-Sasek is the third angel, and this angel speaks of the Lemurian records and how they have preserved the names of the 300 higher angels to be given at the end of time as we know it. They usher in a new form of time, the eternal moment. The angels of the black light. These angels are the ones that we are currently speaking to as we gain further insights that they've given us. Black light does not mean bad or dark or opposite. It's just like the yin and the yang symbol. Without one half, the other half is incomplete. These higher angels had their names sealed in the Lemurian records. When I first received them to be able to sing them in the Earth Chant ceremony, they were unsealed for the first time. just a month or so before the solstice of 2012. The angels could not be evoked before, because these angels are brand new. Let's take a look at what it means to usher in a new form of time, the eternal moment. The Mayan records speak of the end of time being in 2012, in December. This course will help bring it about. 2012 is the year in which this linear journey around and around the treadmill of life, the disk of existence, becomes something different. It becomes one moment that stretches into eternity. It is exponential in its change, and the best way to understand it is the pebble that falls in the pond and ripples throughout the pond. It is one continuous ripple from one moment. The fourth angel, Blistarech, says that their 300 insights are reminders of what needs to be known to make this transition on earth. And the fifth angel, Musaret, says, look not to understand the structured space and linear time of the past. Balance them within, and then discard them by replacing them with the fluid, eternal moment. How do we do that? It is done by surrender. The complete knowingness that what we need is exactly there in this moment. It is only then that we can let go of identifying with past experiences, labels, worldviews. It is then that we will usher in a new beginning of time. Shavibich kanal sata, esibich kele shata unis, simaneche, usavechva, shpi uhiche, kichkiana supa, eteve ihye kene. Shukatach manasu uhuye, avachkaya, eshtabich minasachva keshevech. Bis Pararek, the sixth angel, like a soap bubble that floats before the luminous light of the moon, the eternal moment, the fluid cosmic space as a tool of expression, delights the infinite being. Like a big soap bubble that we blow, that floats upon the air. No structured form, for it changes upon the winds, light breezes. This is what cosmic space becomes when it fluidly conforms to exponential time. It is a different tool of the infinite. It allows more fluidity, more flexibility, and it is a delight to the infinite being. When a child first exits the womb, where it has been confined in its incubation stage, or the little chick first hatches from its egg, its birth is met with delight. This transition from linear time to exponential time, the fluid, ever-stretching moment, is a birth of cosmic expression. and like all newborns, delights the infinite being. Number 7. Let all kingdoms be purged of the old ruling vanguards of control, as the angelic one has to be. In the building blocks of existence, let it begin. Mish-Ter is the angel of number 7. It speaks of the angelic realm being purged, and what it is referring to is the fact that the angels that were part of the old sigil of Ameth became new in the sigil of Blahut. They walked through the revolving door of group consciousness and out the other side as higher beings of great frequency and light. What are the building blocks of existence? And how can it there begin to purge all kingdoms? For everything we know consists of the building blocks of life, the subatomic particles. They are nothing more but the memories of the past. They exist only because of memory. Allowing the past to fluidly change allows the building blocks to disappear. They are part of the matrix. Number 8. Light and frequency, long have they reigned. Let them now in their arrogance be done away. By tonal luminosity shall they be replaced. Sub-quantum soap bubbles are they. Number 8, which is Husaveh, is telling us that the building blocks, which consist of little particles that are light and frequency, have served their purpose. They provided the eggshell, the incubation chamber, and it is now time for them to cease their control of life. It is now time for them to yield to a new form of existence. Soap bubbles, they are called. Subquantum particles that are different than what we have ever experienced, but allows us to go beyond mortal boundaries into the miraculous life. Ich Tararek, angel number 9. Light is the infinite's proactive intent, and frequency is the receptive intent. Like a current in the ocean that both receives and gives simultaneously at all times, the building blocks of tonal luminosity do too. Think for a second about an ocean current. It flows in a specific direction. Fed on one end by the massive ocean, it pours itself out on the other end into the massive ocean, ever renewed. It is something to look forward to, that life will become like this current in the ocean, receiving and giving simultaneously. Because then the infinite's intent will more fluidly and immediately manifest in its glorious perfection. The other great ramification of such an event other than the end of linear becoming and linear time, is that the building blocks of tonal luminosity are neither masculine, which is giving and proactive, nor feminine, which is receptive, but both at the same time, because it gives simultaneously at all times as it receives. This means that life is going to become more androgynous. Where does our opposition come from? From the gap between the expression of receptivity and proactivity, between feminine and masculine. For it is the gap that determines density. The bigger the gap, the larger the stress and the tension of life. Number 10. Mes bilapek. The infinite casts no shadow, as among us the one being walks. For the source of intent that sustains all creations is also the source of all tonal luminosity. I would like to actually ask this angel to give us a further explanation. Ich tararek, manu savech pava. Nixu rachbatek, inat uklarat, piras baruch asavich. It means that the infinite's intent is easily manifested through us. And when we obstruct this intent, it will immediately become apparent that we are moving in the wrong direction. It is for the surrendered life that all things will unfold in grace. As we study these angels, their names are given in the angelic language firstly, but we also give it according to the Atlantean dialect that studied their specific qualities in relation to the pattern of cosmic change. We therefore now start with angel number 1. Anak Navi, known also as bringer of new ways, and Asayich, effortless unfolding. The principle this angel embodies of a life that flourishes is that it is one that allows the new to effortlessly unfold through it, while maintaining an eternal perspective. Is a very good way to describe the task of the 300 great archangels. These archangels have that which is in their stewardship an order of angels, encompassing hundreds of thousands of angelic beings of that specific order. They hold the greater eternal perspective, and the angels in their order embody the changing unfolding of life. It can be said that the archangels, such as the angel Anaknavi and the other angels of the 300 archangels, are the open windows, the gates of heaven. The breeze that blows through the windows, and the flowers that move in that breeze, the leaves upon the tree, are the orders of that angels. And every time those unfoldings of life changes, the movement within those orders of angels, like the flowers and the leaves, changes as well in their expression. Life cannot flourish if it is stagnant. Life cannot flourish when it is rigid. Lack of expression creates stagnation, and the inability to let go of yesterday's truth, knowing that truth changes as life does, that yesterday's truth is not today's truth. This is what brings flourishing when we have overcome these undesirable traits. It is necessary, as we effortlessly flow with the new and the guidance that is everywhere around us, that we maintain the perspective that we are eternal beings, without beginning and without end. We look now at the second angel, Biritetvi. Biritetvi is also known as Pakwan, highest perspective. Everyone's truth varies because their focus on reality does. Let's just ponder that one statement for a moment. How is it possible that we can tell another what their highest truth shall be when their task is to maintain a different perspective for the one life expressing as the many? Truth is the highest perception for any given expanded or contracted focus. Think through our lives. Do we tell our children how to live? Try and make others as enlightened as ourselves? Look down on those who cannot see? The man in the street, in ego identity, has been given the task to focus on the dot on the paper. The master, in his or her expansion, sees the expanded vision of the cosmos and beyond. And in this widest expansion, we revere such a one as conscious. But it is just another perspective. And it is fitting that the eyes and ears of the one life, which is the many, have different perspectives. Let us acknowledge each one as valid. As we look at being a revealer of great truth, the only one we can reveal it to is ourselves. Number 3, Avrana El. Life only reveals that which is real and magical to one with a poetic perspective. others only see that which is not. Now we look at the other name for this angel, Magwe, poetic perspective. And then the principle embodied is the one who flies on wings of gladness. Poetry, art, it is the language of soul. We can therefore say that the magic of life does not come to the foreground unless soul is present in the physical life. When we see that which is not, the half-empty glass only, there is no chance for magic to reveal itself. For magic comes forth when there is fullness of being, gladness of heart, and poetry in our soul. When every act becomes a living work of art. In the age of the old masters and their incredible paintings, Vermeer, Frans Hals, Jan Steen, Pieter de Hoog, they saw art when others saw dirty dishes, an untidy table, a mess in a corner. Their still lives are of daily life, yet they saw the artistry of it, not the crumbs upon the tablecloths as something that needed to be mended or cleaned, but part of the art of a captured moment of revelry or reverie. Now we go to Biriklat. Biriklat was also called in the Atlantean language Situhet, an appreciation through awareness or appreciative awareness. This angel was also known as the one of refined enjoyment. Refinement comes from appreciation of the contribution of the rich diversity of life and the recognition of the divine that formed them. When we are fully aware that nothing can exist, not even illusion, but that it serves a purpose, peace comes to our heart. And it is in that resting, realizing that there is no need to strive, that we start to enjoy the nuances of life. Refinement, appreciation. This is the goal of creation. Self is mirrored in every aspect around us. Life is mirrored through every self. It is not an accident that the third angel, which is that which speaks of the poetic perspective, comes before the fourth. The actual truth of it is that all 300 angels form a large alchemical equation. It is, after all, the gift of the angels that brings us alchemy. When all 300 angels have been studied, internalized, and lived, we will find that something changes within us. They add one to the other. By blending one with the other. As I bring you in these audio presentations that which is the deeper meaning of the perceptions these angels embody, I ask that you take a moment to see what it would be like when the qualities of Angel 1 and Angel 2 merge. Make notes of your findings. The sum total of 1 and 2 would merge into 3. Make notes of your findings, and then blend that sum total of the first 3 into the 4th. So it is that you will always find the sum total of the previous angels blending into the new one we are studying, forming yet another quality, one that is yours to find. The 5th angel is Urut Arstet Vriva. This angel is also known as Bluparu, graceful surrender, and it embodies a principle, the one of exquisite grace. Grace is the hallmark of mastery, and mastery depends on how much we have surrendered. Grace and surrender are intricately connected. The surrendered life unfolds with impeccable timing and fluidity, yielding grace. When there is a complete surrender to life unfolding through us, it means that everything happens at the exact right moment. Pain, discomfort, and opposition is the result of trying to hold on to the last moment for longer than what it needs to. If we take a look at what grace really means, grace is effortless unfolding. It is poetry in motion. It is effortless, eternal journeying, no point of arrival. When we think there is a point of arrival, that is when we either become stagnant because we rest upon our laurels, or alternately, we simply hold on to the familiar, afraid through resistance to life to let go. Let go, and life becomes easier, beautiful, graceful. This is the message of the 5th angel. The 6th angel, known as Mishalva, and also in the Atlantean tongue as Stihubaret, choosing fluidity. The principle this angel embodies is the bringer of fluid unfoldment. Life has traditionally changed cataclysmically. The ancients speak in the old records that have been translated about cataclysms happening 1 million years ago, 800,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, 75,000 years ago, and 9,564 years before the crucifixion of Christ ago. Why does life have to change in such cataclysmic ways? This angel tells us that it doesn't. The angel says that life can change fluidly. It depends on our attitude. It is our choice. Eternal moments, or the moment at all, is certainly something that can be overcome. Time is linear, or it flows like a wheel when we are in expanded time or eternal time. And then we have the moments, like a dotted line. It is true that there is more power in the moment, but still it is linear time. And linear time traps awareness. We can move into timelessness, where aging and decay cease, when we no longer have the jerking from one moment to the next, but instead the timeless eternal flow of the one who has completely ceased all resistance to life, just allows with complete trust and surrender. We now look at angel number 7. Pru Estava. Angel number 7 is also known as the revealer of endless possibilities. Mich, pura, joyous possibilities. The cosmic script is not predetermined. A planned future is a closed future. It is instead an endless array of joyous possibilities. When we find this joyous anticipation, this sense of adventure in our life, we are aligning with the cosmic intent. What if? What next? Life brings nothing but good. Whatever is coming is either a gift or a lesson, and ultimately they are one and the same. An endless array of joyous possibilities. If we can write this down, that a planned future is a closed future, and that life is an endless array of joyous possibilities, and we were to contemplate that every morning, we would hold on lightly to our goals, our plans, knowing that it limits the glory of a new tomorrow by the mediocrity of today. For that which is today's excellence is tomorrow's mediocrity. Number 8. Self-empowerment. This angel is called Harastetvi, and self-empowerment is its key concept. It is also known as Part 2, aligned existence. Now we can understand why it is called aligned existence. Because in embracing this principle, we are aligning ourselves with divine unfoldment. Self-empowerment is not the enforcing of our little individual will on life, but rather the alignment with the might of unfolding existence. It is the way to infinite power through surrender. Power that is used to enforce our will on life, which is in the broadest sense of things, the power of black magic, for black magic is to enforce personal will instead of surrendering to the infinite's will. So thus it is that as we align with the might of unfolding existence, all things in our life fall into place. There is a scripture that says, all things work together for good for those who love God. Let us take it one step further. All things work together for good for those who know that they are the hands, the ears, the eyes of God. Number 9. The angel is called Urak Prat Vanu. Authentic expression is not the egoic self's petty desires, but the becoming of a gateway for the unfathomable. Just stop for a moment. Can you imagine what it would be like if we were, in fact, a gateway for the unfathomable? The angel's name in the Atlantean language is Menusech, unfathomable gateway. Such miracles would flow through us. Oftentimes, when you are the source of miracles, it is hard for you to know that they are being left behind you, like a trail of gold upon your journey. But others are blessed by them, and life changes in glorious ways when we become an opened gateway rather than a petty tyrant. Authentic expression is the authenticity of the one expressing as the many without interference. Number 10. Stella Va'el. The embodiments of the many each reflect a unique aspect of infinite expression. Each holds a window into the glory of the infinite, if we but take the time to see. The one who unveils glory, that is the principle of this angel, and he is also called Bararut, embodied perfection. What is this describing? Your fellow man. Can you imagine if we stop seeking truth in the old histories of great thinkers and teachers, but found it instead in the beggar on the street corner? The embodiment, reflecting a unique aspect of infinite expression. A window into the glory of the infinite. With what utter reverence will we then place our coins as a token of appreciation into his bowl? It is time for us to change our perspective. Magical life, glorious miracles, infinite possibilities. These things are great gifts the angels bring, but they come to the one who is humble. Humility does not mean that we are less than another. That is just our genuflection to the arrogance of another. Instead, it is the realization that every being in the cosmos has equal value, in that each is expressing a unique perspective of infinite life. Reveal the oldest records ever written, that they may tell of the time when life was one. Nistarech Barukvarach. Reveal yourself, that I may read. Nasavi Ayitaene Arspa Urexa Nenuvat Bileshtra Nechva Paruvit Sterak. And the glyphs now appear. Ancient writing never before seen. Siriknetrat nenet parusnak. Vlik irit narus. Pikparatna ursbak. Misbelik parut navravis. And a time there was when in my oneness a desire arose, the desire to give. Nistru manet parus aknatva, helek harut perbanus. I created an imaginary something that could receive, and it became known as the feminine. Spluharat Trechbarus Kirs Nanusarak Betretnat Eleskranut Bravavus. So great the joy in my heart that I wished that it could be felt by all of me. And thus I wished to share. Istranuk puru ratna skiritranas alak itres muhururachna spelevet. It is not that I am not feminine, nor masculine, but in creating this supposed feminine, I became masculine vis-a-vis that which receives. Pitra usanarat, kisa utrusna. I became proactive, and I imagined myself to be receiving. Thus the feminine was the first imagining. Charuch nasik parus evete, ikanahaye aunavach. For in truth, there never was a creation. Sivach blich parus, perketra enesva hasutna mirestrat. The space that this imagined duality created is called creation or individuated life. Ne saratrachna suchba knes. To sustain this illusion, oneness had to be forgotten. Hishaita nisikata minit, or it would not have survived at all. Pitrach nisinit ninetra nikete vich. Listen now, and I shall tell of the myth of creation. Sitrunamaha ikla arach ihira arak unusutu pines. Because it was forgotten that creation is my expression of giving to my imaginary feminine self. It became a tyrant. Sitrabach unus avas, thinking it to be equal to the first cause, thinking itself to be self-important. It became disrespectful to the first cause, thinking itself to be the one life. Strunuk urutbas isetre ku uhuruknu visat misekretne. Fed by my desire to give praise and love, the creations of my hands, which was but the expression of my giving, thought itself to be equal to me, and they treated with disrespect that which gives them their existence. Nasarak Tunusa. It is time when these are opened. Kisurak Natunasa. It is time when these are opened, that this be set straight. Shitrach Nasurach Kisanachba Su. It is not the one expressing at the many, but rather the many expressions of the one. Learn now humility, and learn now respect. For you have no life but for me. It is time. Sichba Trunach It is for your joy, Kisa, Nutrech, which I wish to give, Kiamach Nusa, unto myself, that you are and dwell within my being. Nisech, Nutra Manes, a day shall come where my anger shall ripple through the cosmos. For the arrogance of my expressions, who think themselves to be gods with individuated agendas. Kisharach, Nusech, it is in expressing the one life well, mich paruch, nastu minashva, that you enter the God kingdom. Ista mese nuch barach. Let it be done with humility, for that which gives you life. Stech manus, ishatu, kiyech. It is my anger that has rippled and spread throughout my expression, that has enabled the opening of these records. Nesha Suavach De Sunach. Let the feminine cease to exist. Let the desire to give cease, for it creates relationship. I shall express, and you are that expression, for the joy of it that cannot be shared, for there is only one life. Asare vane manuvavish ebrechve stave hani haye. With deep breaths, place yourself into a state of meditation. Blow out all the tension. If it persists in any area of your body, imagine a little mouth in that section of the body and breathe out any and all resistance. It is linear time that arises from resistance that creates tension. Deep breaths. In guiltless perfection, existence unfolds. There is no good and evil beyond the matrices. The matrices are created by our belief systems. Individuations dance like flecks of dust in a light beam that shines through a window. The window consists of the mirrors of body, soul, and spirit. In examining itself, the infinite cannot perceive itself directly, the way a light beam cannot be seen directly. Only in observing the individuations that are illuminated by the light can it be traced. Like dust in a light beam, there is no guilt or culpability, just aspects of life that, from our vantage point, are incomprehensible. Feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the total surrendered state of infinite beingness. Sink beyond body, soul, spirit, to that which has always expressed and existed, the timelessness of your true being. There is no room, no town, no earth, no cosmos. Like being the infinite ocean, allow yourself to feel currents forming, yet formless, within the vastness of your existence. Just stay with this feeling. Deeply feel what it's like when there is no time and space, no up or down. Nothing is expected of you. Your being is your playground. There's a deep, contented joy at the exquisite gift of existence. is no differentiation within you, just the formlessly forming dance of eternity. Deep peace and rapture combine within you. Imagine yourself trying to see yourself. It cannot be done, because the observer and the observed is inseparably one. Within the deep silence of the being that you are, a note plays. And from this note, your being forms a window. For the note is sung, and where its frequency creates movement, a space has formed. Like a window. You have played this note before in other places of your being. Different notes, different places of your being. Different aspects of existence. Where the note now rings, light begins to form. It is the knowingness that there is a parameter, that you are observing a part of yourself, the way one would study the ocean by placing a bucket within it and closing its lid. One cannot see the whole ocean, but you can study a bit of it by observing what is in the bucket. The glow within the window, within the ocean, now changes as you change the one note to a different note, higher in its frequency, faster in its speed. And the water in the bucket of the ocean clusters like little specks of dust that float in the air. Individuations have formed. Observe that, like the dust that dances in front of the window, it illuminates and lights up and defines the light that shines through the window. The beam can be seen because of the particles within it. You are, in your body, like a dust particle floating between the big matrices of existence. You are lighting up that which is expressing within this area of self-examination of the infinite. You are also a current that flows through eternal seas. You are existence beyond the window. You have individuated that the infinite might study itself through your existence. That's all. Life is innocently watching itself. In our value judgments of good and bad, and right and wrong, the window has begun to dictate what is acceptable in our expression. When this happens, it loses its original purpose as that which participates in the observation of the infinite. It loses perspective. Instead, it starts to control. Now, the infinite can no longer observe itself in these individuations, for their authentic expression is overridden by programmed life. Feel the vastness that lies beyond this little area of observation, which is cosmic life. Allow the authenticity to return by releasing value judgments. In the innocence of your existence, guiltlessness, you simply are, without beginning and without end.
we call upon the infinite, that we might have the vision, that we might have the wisdom and the faith to not look back, to not step backwards, but to enter a life of evolving grace and the poise of mastery. This is our deep prayer. We dedicate each action like a devotional act to the evolution of man. May we understand the power that lies within the moment. May we make each moment count, and may we pass that power to all life through our inclusive embracing of the diverse levels of all beings. May this bring peace to humanity. May this bring wholeness to the bodies of man, that they might experience comfort and that they might experience faith and hope yet again. May we bring order and the combination of simplicity to the complexity that earth life has become is our sincere prayer. We dedicate all that we do to the glory of the One, expressing as the many. May we hear the voice of the infinite forever and ever. Amen.